I know, I took my Tupperware, chicken, broccoli, rice.
No, you didn't, because you don't even eat that when you're here.
Nope. I love it when we get a grand's worth of headphones for free.
Still in my AirPods though.
Okay, so we've just had our amazing delivery from our very good friends at Jabra. Now it's really actually difficult to hear myself speak because these are noise cancelling headphones. These are going to be perfect for the office situation when we're doing calls. Because you've got the mouthpiece here, right? This actually cancels music.
Is that what this is? Is it the mouthpiece? Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but this not only cancels sound so that you can't hear external stuff, but it also, for the person listening, they will only pick up what you're saying. And we've also got, so this is the Evolve 75 over-ear headphones, and we've also got a pair of the Evolve 75 E, and these are
headphones, I think.
This is like a little bit different.
World's first professional certified wireless earbuds. The technology is amazing. It's incredible.
So Jabra, thank you so much for our new headphones. Yeah. So if you need a pair of headphones, head over to Jabra. They do incredible cases and headphones and yeah. I mean, look at that. That's quality, look.
Oh, and you can move the mouthpiece so I can be like, oh, I'm on a call. I'm on a call. I'm off call now. I'm good. I'm just listening to YouTube, and then I'm on a call.
I don't get why they don't.
I've got a moose juice. As I was feeling a bit ropey today, I took some Nurofen, water and caffeine.
It's common known cure for headache is a moose juice and Nurofen.
It says on the packet of the Nurofen, please have with moose juice. Right, let's go.
Hold up. Frank. Headshot. Frank. Sit down. Frank. Stand up. Frank. Pass out. Frank. Wake up. Frank. Fade it. Frank. Fade it. Frank. Hold up. Frank. Headshot. Frank. Sit down. Frank. Stand up. Frank. Pass out. Frank. Wake up. Frank. Fade it. Frank. Fade it. Frank.
Around some people living their life in bottles. Granddaddy had to go backstroke every day in Chicago. Some people love the way it feels. Some people want to kill themselves. Some people want to.
This is a Reese's half-pound peanut butter cup. It's all good though, because in one peanut butter cup you hit MPS, over 30 grams of protein in one cup. That's what you want. It's basically a protein peanut butter cup.
It is. There's more protein in this than a lot of protein bars. Just listen to that.
Oh, listen to that.
Brick. Alright, don't bash it. What's wrong with you?
Look at the thickness of that. You see, putting it in the fridge, you see, it cuts a load better.
You will get ripped.
I'm never going to stay there very long, was it? Just a good shot. Come on, it's been a long day. Holidays.
Need some transdermal caffeine.
Oh yeah, get that out, mate. That's really useful. Oh no, don't open it. It's fresh. That's a fresh one. So you just been on holiday?
Yep.
And you're prepping?
Yep.
Must have been hard.
Yep. I know. I took my Tupperware, chicken, broccoli, rice.
No, you didn't, because you don't even eat that when you're here.
Nope. Well, I mean, if I do ever prep a meal, it just tends to be chicken.
So did you enjoy yourself when you were away with your food? Did you go?
Well,
go for it a little
so
bit.
Anyway, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. I'll keep this short and sweet. Although people did like story time with Steve.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So anyway,
it sends them off to sleep before they go to bed.
Went to Edinburgh. Myself and Laura went to Edinburgh. We went for 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days.
It wasn't long enough.
So we went from Monday to Thursday. And yeah, but anyway, getting over to the most important point, which was food.
Food, of course.
So day one was lunch was sushi. Really.
Do you remember every single meal that you did?
Oh,
That's pretty impressive.
I'll try to.
Go on then.
So day one was sushi. So that was about lunchtime. Then in the evening, we went to this place called Burgers and Beers.
What did they sell?
Beers and burgers.
What did you have?
I had a burger.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's good. But you didn't have a beer there.
No, I didn't. No. So anyway, I had a burger. I had a double burger. I had the man versus burger challenge.
Good when you're on prep, man.
It was basically a double burger, smoked bacon, pulled pork, cheese, jalapeno peppers, all in a bun. It was, and then I said to the guy, "I'll get some chips, please." And he said, "Oh, they're probably big enough to share." And I was like, "We'll have a portion each, I think." Yeah. And then Laura, guess what she had?
Probably a burger?
No, she didn't. She had chicken. Oh. She had chicken from the burger place.
That's Laura, innit? She'd go to a burger and beers place and get chicken.
She was actually really, it did look decent what she had. So Laura had that. And anyway, the next day, day 2, breakfast was...
Wasn't the pancakes, was it? I saw that.
No, went to a place called Hula. Hula's like this kind of, they do juices, smoothie bowls. I just trained, and I'm not a big eater after I trained, so we trained early morning, and then went to this place called Hula. Laura had like a smoothie bowl that she'd been fancying. I just had 4 pieces of toast with...
Just the 4? Just
with
4, yeah.
Double portion of smoked salmon. That's what I had, that was breakfast. And then later on that day, I had a piece of cake. Yep.
You had that?
Yep. And then also, then in the evening meal, I had...
Oh, can't remember now, can I?
We went to this place called Burgers. No.
Not Burgers and Beers again.
Chicken and beers. And in chicken and beers, I had a massive beef rib.
You didn't have chicken?
I didn't even have chicken.
Didn't even have chicken.
Because I don't often see beef rib, and it was this massive, like, I was so full by the end of eating it, and it was just delicious, like melted in your mouth beef. Excellent. So that was day 2. Then on day 3, so we're now on to Wednesday.
I'm getting hungry now, actually.
Wednesday, we went to a place in the morning where I Instagrammed this, and basically what I had for breakfast was these pancakes. And on the pancakes I had, so one meal was 3 pancakes with 2 eggs, 2 bits of bacon, 2 sausages. And then on the other pancake dish, which I was meant to be sharing with Laura, that was the plan, but found out they've got dairy and Laura's not so good with dairy. So anyway, I ended up having to eat another 3 pancakes with berries, you know, chopped through, and like maple syrup on.
I think pancakes are one of those foods that the sweet and savoury option, I'm always like, oh, do I have sweet or do I have savoury? Yeah. And you always regret it when you only get the one option. You need to get both. And
then later that day I had like a lemon shortbread, like bit of cake with my coffee.
So you held back then when you were there, it's fair to say.
And then in the evening, I had a Mexican and I had nachos.
You love a nachos.
And then I had enchiladas for the main, and then I had the most amazing chili chocolate cheesecake. It was the best cheesecake I've ever had. But anyway, so on you know, by the sounds of it, I went in. I went big, and I left it 84 kilos, and I did actually return 84 kilos. I was expecting a weight increase from basically just from flying, but I didn't track anything when I was away. And on my final day, I had I think I had the odd protein bar interspersed across those days. But on the last day, I had basically a couple of protein bars for breakfast. I trained, I had a protein shake after. I then had breakfast, like a late brunch sort of thing, and I had just 2 pieces of toast with some jam on from a place. So it sounds like I've obviously gone in, but you've got to remember that at the moment I'm dieting on 3,000 calories. So that is a lot of food. Now, I also only ate 2 meals a day. I had a breakfast and a dinner, and then I had a piece of cake in the middle of the day with a coffee just to get me by, and maybe a protein bar. So normally me and Laura would split the cake or something like that, so there's not exactly that calorific. Now, both my breakfast and my evening meal were probably around 1,500 calories each. In a lot of cases as well. It was only that one day where I had a really big breakfast, it was that big. But actually on the other days it might have been 500 to 1,000. So actually, if I was in a calorie surplus, I still trained. I trained twice while I was out there. And also what I did, and actually that was really good. You know, it was really good. We got up early. We were up quite early mornings anyway, about 7. By the time we were off to the gym, got a good session in, and it was just nice to train in a different environment. Also learned how badly people do train. Anyway, so, but the other thing, which is the other variable as well that people need to understand, is that I tripled my steps every single day. So on a typical day, when I'm at home, I'll do about 6,000 steps. I'll walk Alfie a little bit, I'll, you know, walk to my car, go to the office, train, come back, and it's around 6,000 steps. When I was away, I was doing 18 to 20,000 steps a day. So for me, that will roughly be, what's that, an extra 12? Yeah, let's call an extra 12,000 steps a day. So that, for me, works out to be about 1,200 calories of cardio per day. For me, it's someone at my body weight.
Yeah, you've worked that out for yourself.
Yeah, that's 100% for me.
Yeah.
Like for someone who's smaller, or you know, like petite female,
Or doesn't walk that quick.
It will be less, right? But for me, that's roughly what I know it works out to be, is about 1,000 steps per 100 calories. Okay. Now, so anyway, so again, when you look at that, I've actually got, now my maintenance calories would have been up around 4,000.
Yeah.
And I easily ate underneath 4,000 calories per day. I still got protein in. All I focused on was getting protein in 3 times a day as a minimum.
Yeah, it's one of those where people go on holidays and they sit around the pool all day, do nothing, and eat 5,000 calories a day, and then come back and they've gained half a stone.
Yeah.
And whereas we would go on holiday and we would still probably train, we still probably walk around a lot, and like, I'm similar to you, I'd much prefer a city break rather than lying around on the beach and stuff, and you just find yourself walking around more. You do 20,000 steps,
Yeah.
and you can eat loads more food because of it.
We got one taxi which was from our hotel back to the airport. When we were in Scotland. So the entire time we were in Edinburgh, Scotland, whatever, we walked from New Town to Old Town, like from basically one side of the city to the other. We walked every single place, every time. We were out from, 8 o'clock in the morning. We would go to the gym, carry a rucksack, have our gym kit in there, have a quick shower at the gym, get changed, walk around all day.
Brush your teeth, do your hair.
We did that in a hotel room before we
yeah.
left. But what I'm saying is we left, and then the last time we came back to the hotel was in the evening before we went to bed again. So we spend minimal time actually at the hotel, and most of the time walking around, seeing things, doing touristy bits and bobs. So really, really good fun. We had a great time. But yeah, like that's it when you consider all that. And also the other thing is when I still have Diet Coke. I don't drink alcohol, so I'm saving a huge portion of calories there from not drinking, and then just sticking to diet beverages and little things like that I would do anyway. I just maintain that. So how did you navigate your holiday?
Well, mine was a bit longer. Mine was 10 days, so it was a little bit tougher from that point of view. I still went all in, and it was kind of all expenses paid and stuff like that, and lunches and dinners were 3 courses. Breakfast was pretty extravagant, but I did a bit of snowboarding, so that calorie expenditure was quite high. And again, I was doing 15 to 20,000 steps a day, going to the gym every day still. So I was still very aware about what I was doing. So breakfast especially, I would keep it fairly lean where I could. Some days I treat myself a little bit. Lunches, I started towards the back end of the holiday, pick leaner meats because I knew I'd had the more decadent meals earlier on in the holiday.
So when you mean like leaner meats, what are you talking about?
So chicken breast, white fish, those kind of foods, rather than like the pork ribs, for example, which I had near the start. Yeah. All this sort of stuff. But again, problem with 10 days, it's a little bit longer, so the calories start racking up a little bit more, and I left at 73 kilos and I came back at 73 and a half. So I did gain a little bit, and I certainly felt like I was a little bit fluffier was the word I'd use, but within 5 days of being back, I've hit a new low weight. I'm feeling full, I'm feeling energized still, so it was like, I knew what I was doing. Like, it's easier for me to kind of go away and eat like that because I was eating 3 times a day. Yeah, they were big meals, but I took my time eating them. I didn't always eat everything on my plate. I was eating till I was full. So if I'd left half a dessert, left half my dessert. I'm not a huge massive eater, so for me that's easy to do. I can kind of go, look, I'm full, I'm done. But also when you're on holiday, and in the place I was at, it was eating 3 times a day, and I couldn't really snack in between. There was no way for me to just go and have cake or alcohol or anything. I didn't drink either. I did the same thing, water and Diet Coke. So I was managing all those different variables, and came back, and like I say, now I'm 5-6 days back and leaner than I was when I left. So I'm. So
what can someone expect from travelling?
You definitely. Obviously you get thrown out your routine, that's 1. 2, I don't think you drink as much water as you normally do when you're at home.
Like, there was no way I drank enough water. No. Same for Laura, she on a couple of days woke up like she felt a bit hungover, and it was because you're doing triple the amount of steps you normally would, and we didn't drink. You don't need to necessarily drink triple the amount, but you're going to be sweating more.
But also in restaurants, you have like a Diet Coke or something, and then you don't order like a big jug of water with it. Whereas we'll be sat in the office, we'll have jugs of
bottles of water.
You know, we'll have shakers of water all the time, and and also because you have to drink bottled water, you can't just go to a tap if like I was away abroad. So it's like you just go bottled water. And
it is a real ball ache. Like you don't actually want to keep drinking because then you need to find a coffee shop to pee in, you know. So there's certain things there which do make it a little bit more challenging, but.
Also, if you can't read the menu, like in the language, like I was in Switzerland and like it was all good, like most of them all in English. Anyway,
and I was in Scotland, and that was tricky.
That's a different language altogether. And also like I was away with someone, and they wanted me to try all these other nice foods that they recommended and stuff. So again, it's rude to just go no.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all these little things you have to navigate, but I think ultimately you are in control. Like I think that's the other thing. People use it as an excuse to just go mental.
And like fair play to Laura. Laura's on much lower calories than me. She did track everything and estimate everything and eyeball things, so I would go over and check her YouTube out. You know, if you are on less calories and you need to find out, she'll have some good advice for traveling as well. So I'm sure she'll be doing a video very soon if she hasn't done it already, but about traveling and stuff like that, because it just looks at it from a different perspective. Someone that is on lower calories that needs to be a bit more mindful than I do. Laura's steps is a bit higher than mine normally, so we're very different, but you know, it's similar sort of lines really. But if you are going to travel, you know, you're not, like we said, you're going to be out of your routine. You probably wouldn't have eaten as much protein, you probably wouldn't have as much fiber, so actually the calories you will be consuming is more fat and carbohydrates. Yeah, you might look a little bit fluffier, you know, you'll be eating foods you don't normally eat. That sometimes can hold, you know, make you cause a little bit of water. Throw in a flight as well. Most of my female clients do come back heavier, and what I'll do is you know, 5 days later it will probably all come off, if they've had a reasonably decent go at sort of being mindful while they're away, you know. So yeah, expect it. Don't, you know, when I was away, there was one day actually I woke up and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, bloody hell, Steve, you've gone for it, like. But you know, then now I'm back, you know, and I look like how I did when I left, didn't I? So it hasn't took me long, just a gym session basically, and yesterday I really, you know, pulled calories back in a bit tighter while I was travelling home. But yeah, don't worry about it. Don't let it ruin your holiday.
It can be done.
It can be done. Could you do it? And again, this is like why I've given myself, and Laura's given herself, a long time to prep, so we can have these little breaks and not overly stress about it. Because if you do gain a kilo, so what? You've got ages. So again, it just gives, for me, it's another tick in the box why a longer prep is useful. But we've spoke about calories and macros. What, Dan, can we do for people if someone's watching this and they want to get a bit more of a handle on some of this stuff? What can they be doing?
They can head over to either one of two places, our Facebook page, or they can head over to either of our Instagrams, and then you can probably click the link in the bio and you can join our 4-week free fat loss.
Or what we'll do is we'll put our website link at the bottom of this video and you can join our fat loss program completely for free. It's 4 weeks long, but the best thing about it is, although you only get 4 weeks to you know, use like the spreadsheets that we help you build, like we've built for you. It will help you calculate how many calories you need, what protein you need to be eating, help you stay consistent, work out your averages, all that kind of stuff. We do all the coaching for you in it, and it also helps you manipulate it. But the best thing about it, and all of the feedback has been so far, is about the accountability you get from it, and also the group that you're allowed into then. So you get added into our Teambox friends group, okay, and you'll get that link basically once you've downloaded the program, and you'll get access to weekly webinars from us coaches. You can ask any question you want. You know, there's loads of infographics going in there, recipes, days of eating, you name it, it's in there, and it's just a great place to be around and learn. And you get, you know, and even after the 4 weeks, you still get access to that.
Check out the link in the comments. Done.